You know, I had another idea for a video, but all I can do is sit here and think about is the peak years of fan service gaming. Just gaming in general. It was beautiful, and I just miss it. I just miss it so much. Oh my God.
I don't love the kind of woman that will actually just kill me.
Gooners and gamers, it's your boy Kentman, and when you heard these noises, oh, you knew you were in for a good time. Now, I know you're going to say like, oh my God, and oh, hey, talk about old games again and stuff, but you just don't get it. Possibilities of things we had that started there. Sly Cooper, Jack and Dexter, Ratchet and Clank, God of War, Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, and that's just PS2. You have GameCube, Star Fox Adventure, Super Mario Sunshine, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess on Xbox, Dead or Alive, Ninja Gaiden, Halo on the Dreamcast, Space Channel 5, Grandia 2, Power Stone 2, even the DS. It had some pretty good fan service titles, not a lot. Mostly that came in Japan, mostly. There was a point of time where you could just walk into a store, pick up a game case, look at it, examine it, but like, that seems weird. That seems odd, but I like it. I'm gonna go buy it. And you bought it, you left, and that was it. That was it. No one gave a fuck back then. No one did. Not even about fan service. Not to the point where it is now. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that we don't have good games now, and we don't have good fan service games now. Because, I mean, we have Stellar Blade, we have Vindication Prism. You had games like Jack and Dexter that had a little fan service in it, but, you know, you just had a good game at the same time. Even games like Super Mario Strikers had some fan service in it. You had Sly Cooper. You can't tell me a lot of people didn't want to fuck Carmelita Fox. You can't tell me. You can't tell me in Sly 2 you didn't play the dance scene all over again just so you can see Carmelita Fox in a good old dress, along with Sly himself. He was flying too, as well as the good dance sequence of motion that you had so you can hear the music again. YouTube didn't exist back then, back in the early parts of 2000, and so you had to listen to the music through the game. Sometimes you would have the soundtrack, but that was not all the time. Star Fox Adventures. You know how that game was supposed to be Dino Crisis at one, not Dino Crisis. It was supposed to be Dinosaur Planet. Remember that? I don't know if a lot of people remember that it was supposed to be Dinosaur Planet, and then it got converted into Star Fox Adventures. But then they were going to take out Crystal, but Miyamoto was like, nah, put her back in. Make her as sexy as you want her to be. She's hot. She was hot, and she was great. Even though she hasn't shown up in recent games, but you know, the point is, at that time, no one cared. And it could be a testament of the time because there was no social media really. I mean, I think MySpace was starting to become a thing at that time. I mean, I don't think MySpace really became like a big boom until like 2006. I know, I'm old, man. I'm old. I'm old, but there's so much social media and so many people that can have a voice, and that's great, but sometimes that could also be detriment because they can contact people directly, and people are so like stigma about fan service or just gaming in general that, you know, payment processes get in the way of you purchasing a certain game. They want to get rid of fan service and stuff, and it's just like, what happened to society? What happened to gaming? It was back in the day where gamings used to try, and this time that's how you got experimental games like Rumble Roses, Red Ninja, Leisure Suit Larry, bro. I mean, that game was more just all full fan service than anything, but even still, it knew what it was and it embraced it, and no one cared. But you get my point. You just had a variety of different games that developers just try and see what worked. And we got the benefit of playing those games. And now it feels like gaming is scared to take those risks now, because either development costs take way too long to develop games, or just the fact that it might flop. But you don't know unless you try. And that is why I try to do my best to showcase a lot of the past fan service games along with the new fan service games, so you can get a plethora of different ideas of what we had versus now, even though we still get good fan service games and just good games in general, but just like, it was different back then. We had all kinds of different versions of games that would end up in the bargaining bin, but for gamers, that was great, especially when you didn't have a lot of money, you didn't have a lot of resources, so you could only buy 2 or 3 games, or you didn't have the resources to have all the systems, so you had to go to a friend's house that had an Xbox, you had to go to a friend's house that had a GameCube, you had the PS2 or something. Man, that was in the peak eras when anime games were decent, from One Piece to Naruto to Dragon Ball to Bleach to Shaman King. Shaman King used to have a game. God, oh my God. Even Xbox at the time had some really good fan service games. Sukadai, sexy lady on the cover, that was really cool. I never really played it. I didn't have it. I didn't have it, but I knew of it. My friend had it, and that was pretty cool. But I played Xbox for Dead or Alive, you know, because Dead or Alive was the new hot shit at the time, and I loved Dead or Alive because it had sexy characters and cool fighting, and it was a great game. You know, it was a great game. And then you also had beach volleyball, which, you know, Itagaki-san, rest his godmother's fucking soul, was like, I have sexy hot characters, and I want to put them in the game. They deserve to look hot in swimsuits. They deserve it because they look that good. I made hot characters, and they deserve to be in swimsuits on a game. Respect. There was a point of time where gaming used to not go too crazy with fan service, but they acknowledged it. They understood it. You know, they knew that people were mature. Some people wanted it. Some teens, some boys, some girls was growing up like, oh, I kind of want to see a titty. I kind of want to see a dick. I kind of want to see, you know, what they would let me get away with, you know? I want to see some panties. I want to see if I can look up Kratos' skirt. You know, I don't know why, but, you know, maybe you try. But the idea is that they had that and no one really cared. Nowadays, people care way too much about what other people do, and they want to just destroy it. They want to get rid of it. Instead of just not liking it and moving on, you know, they just need to erase it from history and never have it happen again. That's why I'm so happy games like Stellar Blade and like Turret Girls and games like that has happened, because it changed people's minds and perspective of what gaming used to be, where you can have a sexy character but still have a good game. It's not really rocket science. I wish we could just go back to the times where people didn't care as much, you know, and you just played shit because you liked it. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's it. I just miss the old days of gaming, man. It just was simpler. It was simpler times, from just getting new games, new types of games, NBA Street, NFL Streets, just random ideas where you could just have a street ball game with NBA players doing all kinds of weird, wacky moves, and it worked. I mean, of course, the PS3 also had some pretty good fan service games. I mean, yeah, Neptunia released on that, Atelier, you know, all that. But that was like the beginning of when people were starting to see, like, when they got a little bit more sexier and more graphics got a lot better, and they were like, whoa. But we still had it. I miss it. I miss it so much. I wish we could go back to a point where we had the idea of playing games that may have some fan service in it, and if it did, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, man. It's just something sexy, and that's okay. Things can be sexy and be good at the same time. Things can be not sexy and be good at the same time. All of it can exist in the same world. And no one gave a fuck back then. I just want to go back to that. But I know that's probably not going to happen, but I wish we could, you know? Peak years of gaming. You never know how much you miss it until you don't have it. And it is what it is. But either way, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Fan service is the best kind of service. Remember that. Also be a fan of that like button, and I will see you in the next video next time. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Bye.